A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Today we have with us our guest which will be talking on the topic of how can Malaysia achieve its sustainability target. I welcome everyone to this session. Professor Norma Mat Saad, the Director for IIUM Centre for Islamic Economics, Professor Muhammad Aslam Muhammad Hanif, our Senior Professor at the Department of Economics, and other guests, which inshallah will, I really looking forward for this talk. I hope you are all will benefit significantly from this talk, inshallah. So we have with us, without further ado, we have with us Mr. Ismail Abdullah, the President and CEO of International Green Trends Cockpit. And I actually met him when I attended a session at INSIF, and he was talking about sustainability issue, commenting on Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi's book on ecology and environment. I was very impressed with his presentation, particularly on the technicalities of carbon trading, emission reduction, and so on. And since our university pursued the idea of sustainability and sustainable development goals, I thought that it would be very, very beneficial for our IIUM community to have an exposure on the technical aspect of the green transition, which have a lot of impact on the Malaysia's economy, and see how IIUM, consumers, other organizations, businesses can respond to this and play our role towards this green transition. So we have 1.5 hours for this session. Maybe we can have Mr. Ismail to give his presentation for 45 minutes, and later we will open for question and answer. So without further ado, I would like to call Mr. Ismail to start his presentation. Tafadhal.
Thank you, Dr. Nizam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for inviting me. All these distinguished guests, Prof. I visited this place many years back when I was being a meeting with Prof. Datuk Mansur, when we set up the MyCREST indicators, because the MyCREST indicators was developed together with this other panel, and I'm one of them as well. And I've also visited the built environment. When PAM have they organized the PAM, I think some event over here last time. So I also visited because I'm one of the panel as well for the green building. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I'm here today, and inshallah I'll be sharing with all of you about sustainability. Is again a bit of myself. I'm ONG man, I'm oil and gas. I'm coming from Kerteh, but the first batch of ONG, we used to work outside the country. We are in US, we are in UK, we are in Japan, in Korea. So alhamdulillah, we are exposed to all this much earlier than anybody else. And when we talk about carbon capture, so I've been telling Kementerian, we have been doing this in North Sea 20 years back, not now. So only now, in Malaysia, we're talking about carbon capture, but we have done it a long time ago. Okay, inshallah, I will spend about 40 minutes on these slides. Basically to share about the the importance of sustainability is. And what most important for us is for us to understand in more detail about the fundamentals, how you're going to implement it, and coming from the industry, because currently I am heading these organizations, Green Trends Cockpit. Original name, the original name is Green Training Center. So at that time, I'm the partner to Malacca State. Originally, this company belonged to Malacca State. So early of this year, proposed to buy over the entire share of Malacca State and change the name. Change the name into Green Trends Cockpit. The cockpit name is, words is very unique. I got this idea because we was asked to develop blueprint to turn Bintulu Port into the first net zero carbon port for Malaysia. To convince the government that we can do is not easy. So what I did is I know the former project director of Rotterdam Ports, and Dr. Taimiyyah. She was in what is the university name in Rotterdam? That university is only for maritime. So they have done this. Well, basically they are in R&Ds and that kind of thing. But Dr. Taimiyyah herself, she's the former director for the Rotterdam Port, and she introduced to me Cockpit. Very interesting. A very unique project management method. If you want to know, so if you are on A4 size, just like what we see now, at the end of, at the far end on the right side, that is your target, and then you break down into timeline, and then you focus into what are the principles in order to achieve the target. So it's very interesting. Just one page. Exactly, backcasting is normal for green, sustainability is backcasting. But again, the method on how she basically explained about the entire project is just on one page. Later on we can explain, we can share specifically on the green maritime. But today the topic here is about how Malaysia can achieve our sustainability targets. So we put two targets. One is to reduce 45% intensity of GDP from 2005 to the 45% we should reach in 2030.
This is from Paris.
This is from the earlier than Paris Agreement, basically. Earlier than Paris Agreement, that was in 2015. We make a commitment to reduce 45%. However, we have changed the components before the COP26 recently in Glasgow. The original component is 45%, consists of 35% voluntary reduction and 10% with financial support from developed country. However, we have changed it before the COP26. We commit ourselves 45% unconditional, voluntary. Okay, so you may ask why. Are we so rich? Are we so rich because without the 10% you say commit? The reason being is simple. The reason being is if every country committing themselves with, actually it's not only Malaysia, with all these two components, financial components, almost every country in the world. But in Paris, in COP26, they decided that if we were to do that, to put that conditions, we are not going to achieve the 1.5 degrees Celsius target. So all of 193 countries agreed that okay, now all of us will go voluntary. All. Okay. Now, the second target is we plan or we pledge to be net zero GHG emissions by 2050. All right. there's two things here that we need to be very, very clear to understand the detail of the first commitment, the first commitment of 45% intensity. So meaning that we are not committing ourselves to reduce absolute amount of carbon. So the amount of carbon that you measure, you have to par with or compare with your GDP. Okay, so that is when we get our GDP baseline is 0.4, okay, and the next target by 2030 is 0.2. Yeah, and there's the next question is why we want to reduce to 0.2? So in most of the discussion in the government, they will say that, I don't just commit 10%, it's just good enough for us. Don't commit 45%, again, like what Prof said just now, in green, in sustainability, we use a method of backtracking. So 0.2 is the commitment for the whole 190 countries in the world to achieve that target in order for us to achieve 1.5 degrees Celsius, to limit 1.5 degrees Celsius. So that's the main reason. Okay, and it will go back to the question, why Malaysia 45%, why Singapore only 25%, why Korea only 20%? Just because of your baseline is high. So if you do backtracking, then you see that. You say, oh, not fair, Singapore is just 25%, why we are 45%? But Singapore, after after Kyoto Protocol, all of us signed Kyoto Protocol in 1997. However, being Malaysian, we have to understand this. It takes some time, and you just wait to see, is there any real impact to us or not? But those countries immediately after they sign, in all international agreement, there will be 3 stages. One is you sign. Okay, and then the next thing is you rectify, and then the 4th thing you enforce. Okay, so without enforcement, you're not going to do anything. Okay, so in Malaysia, we have to bring to the parliament, get the parliament approved, and that kind of thing. So as far as Malaysia is concerned, we only approve in 2003. That is the reason why 2003. After 1997, yes, but not Singapore. They do it immediately. Many countries, especially the developed country, they've been doing that. Okay, so I hope that is clear as far as commitment number 1. Okay, now you see again that we are projecting ourselves to increase or triple our GDP. Why we do that? Because we want to achieve status of developed country. So if you want to do a developed country, what you need to do now is you need to have a forecast of population, okay, and then your per capita income. All right. So OECD says if you were to declare that you are a developed country, one of the conditions is you must achieve $15,000 per capita. So again, work very well. And then you will see that it's almost triple. More than triple basically from your baseline. And how about our emissions? Okay, so we do the projection, we measure actually to 2005, we do the measurement, okay, about 200 over 1,000 tons CO2. And then what we'll do is we do the projection business as usual against mitigation. So we'll have 2 targets there. One is on business as usual, okay, and then the other one with all our green programs, and so on. Okay, that is the reason why we see the different business as usual about 500,000 plus, and mitigation with mitigation 400,000 plus. So the intensity, if we were to not to do anything, so the intensity will be almost 0.3. So our commitment to UN is 0.2, which is mandated to all countries in the world. Okay, now that's clear one. Satu. Okay, something that I would like to highlight here as well. Our previous reporting. So we have 2 NDC now. One is the old NDC, the first NDC, nationally determined contributions. we only report 3 types of gases. Yeah, but next year we need to report another 4 types of gases, yeah, which is the interterrestrial gases. Okay, so altogether by next year we need to report or measure and report 7 types of gases. Okay, now why you need to do that? Again, a question, why don't you just maintain 3? Why you need to add another 7? Okay, 7 is the so-called majority. Yeah, under IPCC, type of GSG is 12 altogether. Yeah, but the other 5 is very, very small. Okay, almost negligent. However, this 7 you need to measure because you claim that you want to achieve net zero GSG emission, meaning that you need to measure every single of GSG. That, I think that was very clear. Okay, now the next target is, or the next sustainability target is net zero GSG emissions. So you may heard that people are talking about carbon neutral. You may heard about people are talking about net zero carbon emission. So what is the difference between all this? So carbon neutral is basically you equalize, the amount that you emit and the amount you absorb. Done deal. No issue. Yeah. So the entire UIA, yeah, you measure what is your total carbon footprint, and then hope that you still have those forests next to you. Measure the carbon stock, adjust contra. If you have the same amount, you can declare you are carbon neutral campus. Done deal. Yeah. So I can come and verify and certify. Done deal. Okay. However, if you have enough. If not, you can ask for Pahang because they have more forests. Yeah, they have more forests. You add their stock as well. You just go. Yeah, so you get neutral. However, to do net zero emissions, whether carbon or GSG, you need to do mitigation first. So establish your baseline, reduce, and the balance offset. Same thing. You still can offset with your forest. Yeah. So that's the 2 main difference. Yeah. Under IPCC. Okay. Okay. Now, whether you are targeting net zero carbon, is only CO2. Yeah. If you are pledging net zero GSG emission, all emission. Yeah. That's the reason why we need to measure all the 7. Because that's what we pledged. Now, back to the sustainability. I think this is just to repeat. It's just to I think most of us are aware about this. But I'm holding to this triple bottom line principle in all my work. Yeah, you need to make sure there is an impact to the people. You need to make sure there is an impact to the planet and to the economy. That's why 3P: profit, people, and planet. Okay. Now, how about for Islam? We have additional. You know why? Because these are all physical. In Islam, this is, when doctor, when you are in INSIF, I share about, we're supposed to be the front end. The Muslim country is supposed to champion the sustainability. You know why? Yeah, because we have faith. Because we have the Sufism inside us, because we believe that the sustainability is not just here, it has to be after as well. Okay, so that's where, I mean, as far as the Muslim the Islamic teaching is, so you have your duty to your creator. Okay, you have duty among the human being, and you have duty to the environment. It's all there. However, this is the Western belief, For them, it's just they look at in front of them, the physical. By right, if we really want to achieve the real sustainability, it has to be through Islamic teaching. It has to, because the moment, you comply, you obey, the instruction by your creator, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, definitely you will comply with all this, right? So what it says, to make sure there is no negative impact to the environment, no waste, and that kind of thing. So that's all Islamic teaching. And again, I am very much, I think, Doctor, you may remember, I questioned about aircon temperature in that room. I questioned about the time.
That's why I panicked earlier when I found that the temperature is very good.
Yes. Okay. Then I questioned about timing. The mitigation effort, because you see, the issue of sustainability is you have to walk the talk. Yeah, the issue of sustainability is you need to have the knowledge. Number one, you need to believe in it, iman, and then you need to practice. And you're not going to achieve anything, if you just have the knowledge and you don't believe it. No job. Especially when we talk about sustainability, reducing carbon footprint. None of us can see carbon. None. Okay. So if you can see the carbon, I think you better stop doing things. Go back and pray immediately. Start looking. I can see CO2, I can see CH4, Okay, so back to the, I'm trying to relate this, because in my way of yes, sorry.
Oh, they are not able to see.
What is it?
Stop sharing and sharing.
Oh, sorry. This is not sharing. My slide is not sharing. I think you need to share. Yeah. Obviously. You need to share first. Okay. Sorry for that. I didn't know that there's slide. Okay. Anyway, come back into the the triple bottom line. So this triple bottom line, you need to hold it forever. Okay, so whatever that you do, whether you are in policy, you're in your policy, in let's say you're talking about IIUM, you want to be a sustainable campus, you need to have this. Yeah, see, as far as economy is concerned for Malaysia, okay, who control the economy? The Muslim or non-Muslim? It's non-Muslim. But why they are the one who do first? Why they are the one ahead than the Muslim? You see? So this is where the knowledge is so important, and the practices is so important, So why Europe? I just shared just now why Europe is mandating Scope 3 measurement. Scope 3 measurement is very much about us. Seriously, when we talk about the Muslim belief, so you have to make sure that the entire supply chain is clean, the entire supply chain without corruption, the entire supply chain. It's all there, but they start first. not our so even by right what is the organization UIC, UOC, UIC, OIC, because they are the one who control all the economy. They are the one who's supposed to champion this. Why we wait for EU to start first? Again, I think this is something, if you were to blame, our own people, I think the entire world are doing this. The Muslim people are doing this, sometimes that, whatever that you preach, sometimes whatever that you learn, you did not really implement. This is the biggest problem for us, Okay, now. Oops. Okay, done. Yeah. Now, there is still a management approach, to measure sustainability. This has been agreed, and I think it will last forever. One is the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, and to make it very clear, this is a government call. This is not private. This is for the government call, because we need to submit report on yearly basis to UNFCCC. It's a government call. And ESG is the private call. It's their duty, So every non-government organization, they have to subscribe to ESG. However, lately in my ESG report also, I will integrate with SDG. Why? A very simple reason. If you want to reduce carbon footprint, through my experience, when I measure the entire Kuala Lumpur, detailed carbon footprint, every single user carbon footprint for the whole community in Kuala Lumpur, 97% belong to private. 97%. It's only 3% belong to DBKL. So if you are If you want to reduce footprint, you need to make sure ESG is there. You need to make sure the private parties understand, the private parties believe in it, the private parties implement it. Okay, so back to the real, what do you call it, message here is, you need to be very sure. If we were to claim that we want to reduce, like Kuala Lumpur, they are targeting to reduce 70% of their intensity by 2030. Yes, 70%.
This is by DBKL.
By DBKL. Yes. And now that become a national project because Prime Minister announced during the Environmental Day in Taman Tugu that Kuala Lumpur will be the pioneer city to be net zero city by 2050 and also to achieve 70% reduction by 2030. It's a tall order. Seriously speaking, it's a tall order. So what I did with Dewan Bandaraya is basically to go, in stages. It's not easy. They have almost 10 million tons CO2 for the whole Kuala Lumpur last year. Okay. Okay. And obviously their GDP is high, very, very high. So because of that, their intensity is only 0.13. Yes. Already below the government, because of this, sometimes it's, playing with figure is very simple, you just increase your GDP, okay, that's done deal. So your ratio is already down, They are lucky because they are Kuala Lumpur, all the major, basically all the big organizations are all in Kuala Lumpur. What happened if we take Petronas out from Kuala Lumpur, so then they obviously their intensity suddenly will go up. You see? So for us, we need to understand clearly on this. Okay? But again, they are very lucky because all those big players, Petronas, Shell, Axiata, Sandabi, all these people pledged that they're going to be net zero. So, DBKL, they are very, very lucky because they have these people to ride on. They don't need to measure carbon footprint because these people have done their measurement. They don't need to invest because these people has invested on their own. So they just ride on the result. So I told Dato' Bandar, said, not to worry too much, Dato' Sri. But what you need to do is make sure that you communicate with them. Because they won't tell you what they want to do, how they want to achieve and so on. They won't tell you. But you need to communicate with them because you need their figure in order for you to report that you are achieving 70% reduction.
What's the current level? Reach 50% or 60%?
No, they have not. In fact, the baseline was done only last year. Yeah, surprisingly lah. Surprisingly, because the commitment was done before his time. This is very interesting. Always very interesting in Malaysia. Very interesting. Legacy issue. The previous mayor announced 70% reduction, and on the first day when this guy in office, Datuk Seri Mahdi is a planner. So he know exactly what to do lah. And then in his first meeting, he asked all his staff, "Can you tell me now where we are?" Obviously nobody can share because there's no baseline. So they start calling me and we have a discussion and tell them it's not easy. Number one is because we are not that, the entire community, we are not familiar with collecting data. I'm telling you, no. Even if you want to collect data for this campus, you're going to face hard time. I can tell you. Furthermore, that we have federal government, we have state, we have agencies, we have, they will say that, look, nobody asked me to share data with you. Who are you to ask for my data? That kind of thing lah. It took me 1 year to complete the entire exercise to get individual detail, every single user. So in order for you to reduce, you must know each of their intensity. Each. You cannot just average out and that kind of thing. You can't. Yeah? So I hope that's clear. Now, when we talk about sustainability, we need to check also, in ESG, we always have the risk and opportunity analysis. Okay. So we need to ask ourselves, can we just don't do this? Forget about the target, just business as usual. Again, you see this. Yeah. Majority of our importing partner or a business partner, all of them declare net zero. So what will impact to you? The effect to you is they will ask for carbon footprint calculation for every single product. Okay? So this is something that, you see down there, Singapore, the second one. Yeah, if you realize, Singapore just announced their port, their Tuas one, is the first net zero seaport and the first fully automated port. Fully. So, man, there's no carbon at all. So why they do that? Because, there will be a preferred port to all the shipment. Because you want to reduce your carbon footprint. If you go to Port Klang, your carbon will go up. See, so
supply chain.
Definitely, when we measure carbon scope 3 carbon footprint, you need to measure upstream, all the raw material and so on, and you need to measure the downstream until the product, end of product life. See, so transportation is very important. That's the reason why ICAO for airline, they keep mandatory. All international airport must be carbon neutral 2030. All international airport. Yeah. So for us, we need to be aware, all this regulated industry, maritime, aviation, rail, they already commit to UN. Certain amount of percentage they need to reduce. Rail 50% by 2030. Yeah. So we have. Okay, the penalty will come in this way, Prof. If you don't do, there will be no investor coming to you. There will be no investor coming to Malaysia. There's no penalty. We are still on voluntary basis. However, all this indirectly will be a mandatory. Because of trade, we can't survive. Surely we can't survive. Now, this is another thing. This is what I just shared just now. Yeah, the EU commitment that by 1st of January 2023, another 1.5 months down the road, yeah, they need to declare their scope 3. Yeah, so this is their big plan as far as Europe is concerned. What will happen to us when we export our product to them? They need to have the scope 3 calculation in the EPD, Environmental Product Declaration. So without that, you are gone, So I used to share my experience. Other than that, it's, with me now, okay, strap, this watch strap. The expensive strap, the expensive watches in Europe, they already measure the footprint for the watch. However, this strap, we should be proud. This strap was made in Cheras. This one was made in Cheras. Okay, so 4 months ago, this company, they've been doing these fabrications for last 9 years. So suddenly they receive a notice from the importing watch company that they need to know how much carbon of this strap. If not, they're going to stop order. You'll be surprised.
This is serious.
Very serious. So I am doing currently verification for Genting for their carbon footprint. And you'll be surprised. Why Genting? They are so big. Remember, they have business in Singapore. Remember, Singapore already declared net zero. So they have no choice. Okay? Your spritzer, your mineral water. I'm doing the verifications currently because 2 of their brand was in Europe and mandatory to measure or to even to mark on the bottle how much CO2 for that particular mineral water. Can you explain what is scope 3? What are the okay? The scope 3 is okay. There's under IPCC, when you measure carbon footprint, there's 3 scopes: scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. Okay. The easiest one is scope 2 because scope 2 is you only measure electricity that you purchase, yeah, outside of your boundary. Let's say, okay, the entire UIA, yeah, definitely you are buying electricity from TMB. So you collect all the bill for 1 year, okay, and multiply by emission factor, which is 0.677 kg CO2 per kilowatt hour. So you got it. All right. Now, for scope 1 is emission coming from within the boundary of UIA. You have cars, but the cars is also divided into 2. Okay. If the car belong to the university, that is scope 1. If the car belong to student, staff, that is scope 3. And when you commute from your, rented house, from your office, from your house to the university, that is under scope 3. Okay. Now, for scope 3, other than that, is all emissions coming from activity within UIA. Okay. So if you have fabrication, example, if you have fabrication, you have books to publish and that kind of thing. So you need to measure the upstream side, and you need to measure also the downstream side. So when the book is ready, you pass it to your distributor. Distributor starts selling it to people. People read it and throw. So so we will estimate the book is, let's say, 20 years lifetime. Yeah. So you need to measure for that 20 years. Yeah. Then you sum up, that is scope 3, total scope 3. Okay. I hope that's clear. And it's not easy to measure.
Yeah, measurement is one thing. Validity of the measurement is another. So how is it that you can verify that who's making the claim, who's verifying the claim?
Okay. In carbon management, we have 4 stages. One is measurement, the one I'm doing, and we comply with either ISO 14064, 64 is the boundary, 65 verifications, or we use GPC currently, widely used GPC, Global Protocol. Then the next stage is verification. So let's say Genting, they have their own team to measure, and they call me to verify. So I can verify, I can sign. The next level is certification. If you want to sell your carbon footprint, let's say, UIA, you have a lot of forest stock. Your stock is more than what you emit. So you can sell the different. You can sell your minus, so-called minus carbon. Okay. Yes. Then you need a certification. Okay. Then I can come, and obviously I don't provide certifications. SGS, we work closely with SGS from Switzerland to issue a certification. Now, after 3 years, let's say, your buyer is come to me and say, look, can you validate this certification? That's what I can do. So 4 layers of carbon management: calculation, verification, certification, validation. Okay. So, there's a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of opportunity to do. There's a lot of opportunity, seriously. So, that's why I've been talking to all the universities as well. Look into this, because the demand, to me, carbon will be a new currency. Take my word, carbon will be a new currency. Anywhere you go, people wanted to measure carbon. People wanted to verify your carbon. People wanted to certify your carbon, especially when we have Bursa currently. So all this will come to place. So I think good if you can share to our students, especially when they are final year. I've been doing this for UKM. Very much. Seriously, that's the reason why most of the university now start offering sustainability courses, sustainability technologies, business sustainabilities, and so on. Because I can say that this is the next phase of, previously we are so concerned about Y2K, then after that we are so concerned about quality, ISO, but now that is no more. No more. Everybody was talking about sustainability. Everybody talking about carbon footprint. Yeah. So again, yeah, when Singapore declared that their port is net zero emission, you need to measure again. And carbon footprint measurement, yeah, there is no equipment, sensor. I say that, oh, you put one sensor, you know that for 1 year CO2. No way. Yeah, you still need to collect the data. You still need to do the calculation. Okay. Now, I hope that's clear. On that. Now, as far as Malaysia is concerned, we have done quite a lot. Seriously speaking, if you were put it this way, I was in ONG. Then in 2010, I worked for KETA. I was in MGTC, helping the government to develop all this blueprint, policy technology hijau, green procurement, eco labeling, low carbon city framework, and so on and so forth. As I was there for 5 years, and I shift to Malacca to help the Malacca state to develop the blueprint to turn state into a green city state. And one of my first project is the Sungai Malacca. So I'm trying to prove to everybody that when you go green, you make money. So we set up one company, Sungai Malacca, Senang Bahat, and out of 63 companies in Malacca, they are among the company that make money from the first day. From the first day. So if you go to Malacca, you please donate to us. Because you take the cruise, you go one way 12 ringgit and come back another 12 ringgit. So nobody will go and no one to come back. So wait, no, the idea is this. The idea is, you see, we talk about triple bottom line just now. Okay, so if you just concerned about reducing carbon, make it clean and so on, where is the money? I worked in Houston before, and every week I will go to San Antonio. San Antonio is just neighbor, and San Antonio is identical Malacca. Serious. The size of San Antonio just like Malacca. Population of San Antonio 800,000 just like Malacca, and they have a river right in the middle just like Malacca. So you Google now the cruise of San Antonio, you see what's the difference with Malacca, because we buy one. So I took the entire ESCO. We went to San Antonio, okay, and CM liked so much about that boat, and he asked SUK to buy one, and we replicate to 44 now in Malacca. So if you see, identical. The difference is they don't have roof because no rain. We have roof because they have a lot of rain. Yeah.
No copyright issue.
No copyright issue. Okay, but again, you have to think along that line. You have to think along that line. That's why IGTC for our ESG approach. Most of currently I've been talking to, currently we've been engaged by many organizations. Because you see, the problem of our ESG is, I'm sorry if you are accountants, but you can't do accounting approach, because yes, accounting is right, but that is 30,000 feet. To reduce carbon footprint, you need to go down the 2 feet. So you need to understand, you need to have the engineering input. Okay? Or else you just been talking, okay, we reduce 30%, but from where? So you need to understand, if they are factory, you need to go down into where is the load or the process. Okay, where is the mechanical, electrical part, and so on and so forth. So as far as IGTC, I promote this idea, like, where is, when you come up with your ESG, even if you want to reduce your footprint, the E1, the environmental, okay, so where is the money? Just reducing, not enough. Okay, so currently, yes, PLC have to submit to Brusa. So they have no choice. Every year they will submit. But after some time, they will realize that, hey, I've got to pay all this big four, $500,000 every year, and I don't get anything. So I am promoting the idea of, yes, identify. When you do materiality, when you do your materiality, make sure that you have another 3 columns next to your materiality. So what is the impact to the environment? Yes, we can reduce carbon. Where is the impact to the economy? where you can make money. Okay, obviously people will come when you achieve this too, right? So you hire more people, more business, better for community. So for developer, I am promoting currently, introduce low carbon building, low carbon development, okay? Attract new technology, attract all those. If not, you just gain one. You just gain one, So what is the impact to your economy? You don't get anything. You just reduce carbon footprint, but, so quite a lot. I've been talking to Sam Dabi, talking to STP Steel, talking to KLK and so on. So everybody now subscribe to the idea of, yes, we reduce carbon, at the same time, we can sell our house. There. Yeah. I think EcoWorld is the first who engaged me, because you see, when they built this very cheap bungalow in Teluk Bang Lima Garang, that is a green bungalow, GBI Gold. Each bungalow is GBI Gold. Very cheap. It starts from 3 million until 6 million. Who's going to buy? Because it's so cheap. Who is going to buy? Okay. Now, okay.
I thought when you say cheap, 300,000.
Okay. That's the cash.
Then suddenly you answer 3 million.
That's okay. Now, that is the challenge for them. They're so excited to build this green bungalow, no VOC, blah, blah, blah. So how can you convince your buyer to spend 3 million? It's so much for you to translate your green building rating into money. So your bill will be low. So the house will stand there for next 50 years. Now, so eventually, if you do that calculation, the LCC calculation, you will see that house is only about 700,000-800,000 only. You see, the upfront cost being offset by the saving. Yeah, because the house is so healthy because there is no VOC at all. So there is no medical bill. Yes, no medical bill. In US, when we want to measure performance of green building, we will measure MC. Meaning that in green building, you should not have any staff
On MC.
go sick. Yes, that's how we do. That's how we do. Because in your, obviously, you see up there, it's already asbestos. You see down there, this carpet, when you want to glue, there's a lot of VOC in the glue. Definitely. During the installation, definitely none of us can come to this room because of VOC. Your pin, a lot of VOCs. So now, this is a very unhealthy room. Translate that into money. Yeah, that's the reason why, we don't have enough bed in our cancer hospital. Because we don't have this knowledge. Seriously. And I'm briefly translate translating this is very much of, you see, if you go by this, so there's a lot of VOC. If you want to reduce, there will be a retrofitting cost. You offset again. People are unhealthy. You offset again. Okay? And then the value of this building. So you monetize every single part of the components. You monetize it. And this is how we can compare. EcoWorld hired me specifically to train their sales team. Yes. 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 Now again, we need to have this principle clear, understanding. Yes. The way we think, it has to be that way. Yeah. So we talk about sustainability. That's why I said, go back to the triple bottom line again. Yeah. Okay. So as far as the government is concerned, we have done a lot. Yeah. Compared to other countries, we have done a lot. Seriously speaking, as far as program, as far as commitment, are all there. Yeah. But obviously most of the time we miss the implementation. Most of the time. Why we miss the implementation? Again, knowledge. The original setup of IGTC is to one mission. I told Malacca CM, we can prepare the blueprint, and our blueprint is solid, AAA, perfect. But it's hard for you to implement unless you equip with knowledge to every single level of your community. Start from ESCO. Serious. That's why for IGTC, my ESG program, I will start with board of directors. They must understand, they must subscribe, because they are the one who make the decision. See? And then you go down to C-suite, because they are the one who going to plan it. Program. Then you go down further until the cleaner. Because those people, if they do not have knowledge, you go to the toilet now, you see how they clean the toilet. You see what chemical that they use? Full of VOC. No. The cleaning material that they have. Why that happened? Because the entire supply chain, no knowledge. Okay. We only know that, oh, sakit dada, I may have to go to hospital and say, oh, stage 4. But you never ask why that happened. Because you are consuming VOC every single day when you are here. See? So this is issue. Yeah, because you don't have enough. That's the reason why I like to talk to the university. Yeah, because you are, future, you're going to have workforce. Yeah. That the knowledge is so important, yeah, for our future generation and our Malaysian workforce. And if you're talking about, targeting 2050, I'm not sure, Doc, are we still around? Oh, Prof, are we still around? But if you don't give this knowledge, the right principle knowledge to them, we're going to have a hard time, seriously. Now, this is what I mentioned about the protocol. So we have all this protocol, however, it's still new at international level. Yeah, you can download all this GPC. Yeah, it's only in 2014. Previously, ICLE will come with their own method of calculation. C40 will come their own way of calculation. WRI will come. Yeah. So in 2014, end of 2014, actually, they have done the mufakat earlier than us. Sorry. We talk about mufakat much later. They have done the mufakat much earlier. Yeah, because to the world, when you do calculation, you need to do comparison. When you measure, you need to compare. UIA, what happened if you were to compare with UM? Your intensity between you and UM. I hope here it should be lesser. I hope here, because because you have the fiqh, you have the the additional the Islamic teaching is here. But if you don't measure, no chance. I mean, you do not know where you are. Yeah. So please measure. And hopefully, if you measure and then quietly ask them where they are, don't declare. Immediately reduce, only then declare. So you have to do that. Okay, so we do have this. See, 70% of national carbon footprint is coming from city. So that's the reason why at ministry level, yeah, I'm part of this team also to prepare national low carbon city master plan. Yeah, so that's also why I am measuring carbon footprint for every city now. Kasa. Yeah, it's still new. They launched in July 2021. It's still new. Okay, so we subscribe to international protocol of measurement. Why? Again, 3P. When we measure, especially Kuala Lumpur, we want to compare with Singapore. We want to compare with Jakarta. We want to compare with London, because they also use the same method of calculation. That's very basic, yeah, to see, because big city like Kuala Lumpur, you expect investor to come. Yeah, your P, your first P. Okay, so again, We signed in 1997, only 20121. We come up with this. So you just imagine how long, yeah, it will take us, yeah, to take action, okay. So you hope that, you know, in future that we can do faster lah. Okay, now the other key milestone that we have done is to establish our MyCAC, Malaysia Climate Action Council. Okay, previously we don't have this. Previously we have Green Council, we have Climate Change Council, but we never have Climate Action Council. Okay, in other country, even they have climate minister. Yeah, we don't have.
What's the difference between all those councils, the scope?
Okay. This council is very much of addressing sustainability, climate issues across the board. The previous council is very much looking, because they fall under different ministry. Yeah. This, if you see the 9 boxes there, yeah. So 10 boxes there. So that is all the minister. Yeah, it's all the minister. It's basically we are covering the entire spectrum of sustainability lah. Yeah. Okay. So now look at the square, the red square down there. That is where every PBT need to have officer, sustainability officer, to measure carbon footprint. You know, without measurement, no chance. You're going to, you know, you're going to even to plan. How can you plan? You do not know where you are. Okay, so this is why, again, this is still new. Yeah, we only have, I think, only 3rd meeting recently, the 3rd meeting, yeah, for MyCAC. However, this is so important for the country. It's so important for the country if we want to achieve our target, the 2 sustainability target just now. Yeah. Apart from that is, you know, Bank Negara have done their part. You know, they produce CCPT, you know, BAFIA and so on. So they have done it. Yeah. All. And then the latest one is Bank Negara also introduced the low carbon transition facility. Yeah, the one that you may heard CIMB now offering low carbon funding, SME Bank low carbon funding is coming from here. Why we have done it? Because we've been instructed by World Bank in April. Still new, you know. So World Bank instructed Bank Negara to start low carbon financing, and Bank Negara has no choice, so they have to instruct all our commercial bank. Okay. So why low carbon? Because there's a grant from Bank Negara to all commercial bank. Yeah, we announced 1 billion in April. I think 14th of April this year, to be distributed to all participating bank. So it's basically 1-to-1 matching, you know. So if CIMB offering 200 million, 100 million is coming from Bank Negara. So with that, yeah, CIMB can offer only 5% interest and payment in 10 years. It's a low financing, low cost financing. Why we need that? Because this is how can we spur, yeah, the green technology, yeah, to push, to make sure that everybody is working towards that. You know, because, you know, anything will start with financing, but with the current rate, yeah, BLR 2.75 plus 8, it becomes 10.275. You know, so it's hard for people to invest or, you know, to finance a project, a green project, because it's become too expensive. Okay, now again, yeah, currently 8 now. Yeah. We revised our BLR 3 times already.
No, BLR, I know, but
the interest, yes, 8%. Yes. So now, something that I would like to share is this. When we announced, during the same week, when we announced our LCTF funding, Japan government also announced the same. But you want to know how much they now? 163 billion US. So, yes. Yeah. So we understand lah. Yeah. Malaysia, we don't have enough money. That's why we announced 1 billion ringgit. They now 163 billion US. Now, we should take that opportunity. Yeah. If UIA can work with any Japanese association, go into R&D of sustainability, green project, and so on, you can apply that loan. Low carbon, low interest. Same thing. This is throughout the world. It's happening throughout the world.
So this fund from Japan can be applied by non-Japanese.
Okay. The trick is you have to work with the Japanese company. That's the trick. So you become, your R&D team. They become the user. Example lah, Nakano. Example, Panasonic. Example, those people lah. Maybe lecturers and students have some ideas about, because you see, going green, going sustainability, we encourage innovation. Most of us, we don't have money. Most of them, we don't have money. So if you come up with a good innovation on how to reduce carbon footprint, you work with their company and apply their loan. Because that loan is available and huge. Huge. For us, it's 1 billion, I can tell you, it's almost finished now. It's too small. Developer, they will ask for 200 million. That's only 5 developers can apply for that loan. Okay. So we take that opportunity. Now, again, recently, just before the parliament dissolution, so we introduced national energy policy. Why policy is so important? Why I shared here? Because 70-80% of our carbon coming from energy. If you want to reduce carbon, you must know what is inside our policy. Okay, and yes, this is what we we expect more than this for renewable energy. Somehow they concluded into this. So we are targeting 18,000 megawatt by 2040. Okay, seriously speaking, it's not enough. Seriously speaking, it's not enough.
This 18,000 megawatt consumption per year.
No. Production. RE production. Renewable energy production. This is about solar, 90%. 90% solar lah. However, I mean, people from the industry, if you ask me, this is not enough. Not enough. If we want to really achieve the net zero, just now. That only 33%. 33. Yep. Wanted. Not enough. In most of the European country, they are either 80 or 90% of renewable energy. That's why they can declare that they are net zero. They are close to net zero. Or even they achieve net zero, they offset the balance. Okay? So this open, even 18,000, there's a lot of opportunity already, but more than that, I think after 2040, we need more. So still, the students and so on, you can pass into that. Because you see, Malaysia, we are blessed, because we can do solar PV, we can do solar thermal. Okay, this is hardly been talked about, solar thermal. Solar thermal is basically you heat, you use heat, solar PV is just ray, right? Solar thermal is, we are on the equator, so you can do that, from the sun, heat, so you can use that for your hot water. You can use that for hospital. You can use that for food factory. Food factory use a lot of water. Hot water use a lot of hot water. So, so hardly. So now is sometimes it's too bulky and that kind of thing. So this open up opportunity for innovation. So if university student can come up with ideas on how to make a solar thermal is so portable. PV, yeah. 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 Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, number one, we need to understand the implementation process. Solar PV, by right now, it should not more than 10 years. So if you have a lot of tier, so you work with A company sub to B company, company C, then 30 years. Now no more. through my calculation, even, for house, you can achieve 5 years. What you do is very simple. You just work with one company because, you cannot climb to your roof, just get one people to guide, just one company. Don't go into too many tiers. You talk to TNB, they don't do anything. They will ask another main contractor, another subcontractor. That becomes 2 years. Yeah. By right now, the solar is so cheap now. So cheap. Yeah. So work along that line. Work along that line. Yeah. Okay. Now, again, backtracking. If we want to achieve, this is I put on the right side the explanation about carbon neutral and net zero. Now, this is something that the country has not done this yet. Just to share. We don't have this yet, but Shell has come up with this so-called plan. But obviously they will focus on energy because they are in energy. Okay. So I think there will be another organizations, auditors has come with this kind of plan as well. Okay. Boston Consulting, they also have this plan. Okay. Now, just to share with everybody that you need to measure your baseline, you identify where you are, and then yearly basis, you need to have a target. That's important. And then obviously, at the end of your target, you need to offset for sure. Now, this is why then Bursa announced the carbon trading market for you to offset, and KETSA announced that domestic emission trading scheme, whereby that, if you have forest, you can measure the stock and then you sell. But obviously we need to follow the protocol of carbon offset and carbon trading lah. So I will explain later. Now, again, it's so important for all of us to understand this, because if we talk about consumer, talk about business operator, talk about organizations, people need to understand about climate issues. People need to understand how this thing happened, how this climate happened, how this climate change happened. Okay, so where is this GHG coming from? And what will happen to us if we don't do anything? So you refer to SLR study by Nahrim. So if you notice, up north in Sabah, in Kudat, they are almost 0.9 meter in undated by 2100. Yeah, that's it. Half of the city gone. So this is what I call science-based climate action. So we need to have this, So currently at city level, we don't, because planner, what they do is, follow the garis panduan perancang, all those things. So as long as you have the 9 inches drain, scupper drain, I approve. But however, in 2010, the 9 inches is not enough because the amount of water coming down is huge. Just to share what happened in Shah Alam, when we have the big flood in end of December last year. Our rain intensity normal is only 150 millimeter per hour. That's normal. However, that night, when I'm so caught, I went to Kuala Lumpur, I could not come back. Okay. And I searched for hotel, none, all fully, full. So I got to sleep in car. Okay. That night, the intensity is 500 mm. Now, more than triple. What happened to Manik Urai? Remember in 2014, we have a Manik Urai. So I visited 3 times, just to help them. Manik Urai, on that night, when they have this huge flood, huge, I can tell you this, you can't imagine. I can see singlet, the man singlet on the coconut tree. Just imagine that is 40 feet, height of water. That night, according to meteorology, the intensity is 1,200 mm per hour. So that pace. So this is something that for us to need to understand. When we talk about sustainability, when we talk about carbon footprint, when we talk about, how to do adaptation. Yes, you do mitigation, reduce waste, reduce energy, reduce water, but don't forget, there's another one, adaptation. So your adaptation must be based on scientific data. All this is coming from satellite. Just to share, last 2 years, because of MCO. So for us, there's no physical work that we can do. So what I did is I talked to British government. So I managed to get £80,000 to do training to postgrad ASEAN student, 90 of them. I spent 2 days to teach them on how to measure carbon footprint. So Alhamdulillah, I got somebody pay me. True enough. So I selected 90 student grad student from ASEAN, from Singapore, from Indonesia, and so on. It just that's my repeat online lah. That's the only way lah. However, okay, so I took 1.5 days. The other half day, obviously, is, you have to share something with the British university. So that prof is sharing about the climate modeling. If you receive this data, actually this data been translated now. So if you see the satellite data, you won't understand anything. Climate from satellite, you don't understand anything because of red, lighter red, green, yellow, you don't understand anything. So you need somebody to translate in order for you to reach this. Okay, so it's so important also for our students. Need to understand this. Okay, so climate modeling for all of us to understand. Now, back to the if we were to implement sustainability, we need to understand clearly. When we talk about SDG, we need to understand, even Kazana has come up with their SDG target. This is talking about target. And when come to the ESG, we need also to understand, in order for you to subscribe to ESG reporting, you need to choose right standard for you. You need to choose right framework for you, and you need to choose right rater for you. Why? You are doing comparison. You want to achieve the triple bottom line. If you use a wrong standard, it won't serve you. I need to understand. So every of us need to understand this. Especially the rater, because the rater will tell you position against your peer worldwide. Yes. So for developer, we use GRESB. So I can tell you, I've been having meeting with all the big developer. I'm so surprised because they don't use GRE. They use MCSI. They use FTWC. So I said, why you do that? No, my consultant does not explain to me why. Say, what's the point? You are paying them $500,000. You see, this is the very basic principle that all of us need to understand. Or else meaningless. Your report is just to serve, because Bursa asked you, go ahead. And we are lucky because Bursa is so lenient. If you submit to Dow Jones, then I can tell you 2 or 3 times you need to amend. Okay, so we are still new lah. However, I think this knowledge is so important for us when we are talking about ESG reporting. Okay, make sure that our people really understand what business are these people are performing, who they are. They are developer, they are contractor, they are bank, who they are. They are university. Let's say, oh, we are university. So which standard we should follow? Which framework that you should follow? Okay, because your idea is to compare, all right, and to put okay, UIA is here, against Oxford, against Cambridge, because they already did their measurement. Don't forget. So read their report, and you see which rater that you are using. See, this is very important. Now, the other initiative that's so important if you want to achieve sustainability is procurement. Almost 40% of intensity of carbon intensity of any country If you want to reduce, you have to apply green procurement. No choice. Because that's how it will start. It's a catalyst. Something will start with purchasing. Now, university, let's say, oh, you want to go green, we want to reduce carbon. You may start with, yeah, I want to buy mineral water on daily basis, even. But did you mention the environmental statement in your LO? Never. You have been doing that daily. So what you need to do is just in your LO, just write it down then, we need supplier to tell us whether that mineral water has recycle mark. Just turn back. Ada yang triangle 3 tu. Done deal. You are doing green procurement already. No extra cost. Done deal. But report, because that will bring up your image. Oh, UIA, we have done, out of our total budget, we are targeting next year 100,000. Out of million, 100,000. But next year, report, we achieve 120%, obviously lah. You're not buying only 100,000, right? So you achieve 120%. Done deal. Okay? So there's no cast in stone, even the amount. Take that. No. Start small. Do something that no extra cost first. Of all you know, when you buy your A4 paper, it's already recycled paper. Take note. Yeah, it's already a recycled paper. But where is the statement in your LO? In your whatever lah, PO ke LO ke apa ke? None. So education for the purchaser is important. Yeah, tell them. And the next thing is record. Do a proper recording. Yeah. So I think that's is where the cycle coming in lah. Yeah, identify the product, set the target, and so on and so forth. And my reminder also, because I was in MGTC previously, we have this SCP, Sustainable Consumption and Production. Don't just think on the purchasing side. Also handle the production. So what you need to do is, all the purchaser, perolehan, call all your existing vendor. Okay, give them time. Tell them, okay, by next year June, 1st of June, we are only buying green pepper, green mineral water, whatsoever. Green mineral water, because it's simple. It's just already a sign mark. Done deal. Okay, but tell them, because the sustainable portion coming in, where if you are not, meaning that if you don't inform them, they might not be able to sell to you because they don't have the product. So where is the sustainability side? Right? So give them time, educate them. Most important, because they will go back, those people who sell the mineral water, they're not producing their own. So they will get from distributor. So they will tell the distributor, hey, come on, UIA next year, be careful, everything they want to buy, all green one. Yeah. Not political issue, sustainable product. Bukan green product. Yeah. 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 Sustainability. Prof, just to share with you, I already initiated. I had a meeting with HDC. I told them, your halal cannot go to Europe until and unless bawah logo you put carbon, how much calculation, then you can go. So we are waiting for their response. In the meeting, everybody agreed, but obviously it has to go to the Menteri lah. Go to the Menteri. But that's real. Talking about, yes, halal and Taimiyyah, there's something. But this Mat Saleh, they don't care halal Taimiyyah one. So they want to see the carbon amount. Okay. So if you add there plus your carbon, you can sell. Okay.
Okay, Ismail. We are almost one already.
Quickly,
boleh. Yes.
Okay, quickly. Okay, now.
We can spend all day, but
sorry. Your time is until 1 only, Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Running off time. Okay, so green procurement, as I explained, there's many things that we have done. Okay, so now, science-based target. It's already there. There is a formula to follow. Yeah, so just Google. You can use that. Okay. When come to the action, yeah, do according to the pyramid. Okay. So in Malaysia, sometime our pyramid is upside down. We start with RE first. By right, we should start with conservation first, then move to energy efficiency. Only then we go to RE. So this is normally in my talk I said don't follow Shia. Because Shia they start with RE first. Okay. Shia will start with RE first. E later. So you install solar, then don't switch off your light. Salah. No. Conserve first. Yeah, because when you install solar, then you conserve. When you conserve first, that's only a requirement for solar. Okay. Okay. Now, so we have this. As far as the bank is concerned, they are doing it now, and there's many more to come. The training of the bank, I'm also giving training to all the credit officer, because when they do this, it's so difficult for them to analyze how much carbon that be reduced, because it's too new to them. Okay, so there's something that they are doing, in fact, from the World Bank as well. Okay, so this is in the budget. Hopefully they will stick to this budget, though that might not valid, may or may not. You do not know if the same person still there, the budget is still there. Okay, but something that I would like to share, we have this. We have VCM, yeah, on the, I think that platform is done. We have debts later on. Yeah, we'll announce. Waiting for the minister. The program are all ready now. Yeah. Then we are waiting for carbon tax. Yeah. At city level, I'm also involved with the KPKT. We are going to do carbon cap for the new building, for new development in the city. We will follow Singapore. Yeah. There will be a certain cap, yeah, for the new development. Yeah. So that is coming. All right. So this my end slide. So inshallah, any question we can spend a few minutes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ismail, for all the technical presentation of the green transition for Malaysia. Actually, my small brain cannot cope with all this information. Hopefully, I can follow from the video later. Yeah, slowly. I open now the session for questions. Prof, you have something to ask? Okay. Can we collect one or two more?
Assalamualaikum. I have some. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much to the speaker, because I think very interesting, eye opener. But I just was curious to know, in the plans that DBKL is making to reduce this carbon emission and so on, do they also consider as well, for example, private transportation, and also you were mentioning about the development plans within the city. So sometimes I think the main issue is sometimes we see many malls coming up, many apartments or condos coming up, right? And sometimes we feel sad because many of the trees and forest hills gets cut down. So I don't know whether the city planners have also taken this into consideration. Yeah, so maybe your views on that. Thank you.
Okay, let me respond.
Thank you, Zaveda. Any? Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Fatima. I always mix these two up. Any other questions? Students? Yes. Okay, while waiting for your questions, Noti, make it nice. I was having the same thought as well. Who else are there in this business of measuring, verification, validating this carbon measurement? Yeah. Yeah lah. In terms of the human resources required for this, right? It's a huge undertaking for the whole Malaysia. Yeah, I would have thought that we have some kind of project to measure our own carbon emission already. So maybe Mr. Ismail, can you respond to that?
Okay, you have Dr. Putri here. Yeah, is she still here? No.
Accounting.
No, Dr. Putri. But built environment.
Okay.
They are the one who promote, all this. Anyway, that's not that naughty. So it's basically, well, currently, IGTC, we are giving, what I can say, a comprehensive approach. Most of companies, yeah, they are coming from certain sectors only, because they don't have this full coverage, in terms of sustainability, how it can come down. We are lucky because, if you notice our advisor, on in the organizations, I have Dato' Aminah Rashid, the former CEO of Produa. I have Dato' Hisham, the former director of Nahrim. I have Dato' Rashid, the former director of FRIM. So my pool of expert, I can tell you, is the country. It's the ministry itself, because of my involvement now. Yeah. So our carbon footprint calculation is also because of we attach ourselves with the certifying body. Yeah. So we attach to TUV, we attach to SJS. So any request to SJS for carbon footprint calculation will come to us. That's simple. Yeah, that's simple. Yeah, because we've been proven when we measure, it was accepted by international body. Yeah, so that's. But again, I don't have enough stuff. So, so you just competitors roughly. I can tell on same level of we don't have one. Same level of services we don't have one. We are the only one currently. We measure for cities. We measure for organization. We measure for product. Yeah, we measure for product because it's not easy. The other partner is the Dr. Fu Semo, is the former director of sustainability Petronas, so he's with me as well. Yeah, so we are covering from that angle. Yeah, trickle down into ONG. So I'm also involved in Petronas. Because I'm also coming from there. So the reduction of CO2, the methane reduction, and that kind of thing. So we are part of the team. Okay, just to answer your question. Back to Doctor just now. Okay, as far as DBKL is concerned, we have done the detail baseline, very detailed, and we come up with climate science-based climate actions, and I also introduced private-driven climate action. Okay, so with this calculation, we will share with all the end user. Okay, and they will know exactly, if you understand BEI, Building Energy Index, they will understand clearly where they are. And we advise them, or DBKL, yeah, we work with all the government agencies, SEDA, KASA, KETSA, MIDA, and so on, yeah, to help the industry. Yeah, to help the industry to use whatever government program that they have now, NIM, P2P, GITA, all those. Yeah, so we apply. You see, the issue here is because nobody become the conductor. You need a conductor to do all this. You need a conductor to conduct. Because you see, the private, if you don't share with them what is the advantages by going green, by reducing carbon, they won't do, because they say, oh, I'm doing my business well. I'm not. Yeah? But if you can share with them, there is a program called NAME. You can reduce further of your energy bill. You can, do this and that, and it will enhance your business, they will come to you. Okay, when come to the,
should also be the responsibility of this council.
yes,
Council,
yes,
right?
obviously. But Climate Action Council is looking only at the policy side. PBT is the one need to go down to the ground. Okay, when come to the new building, that's what we are introducing. KPKT, I've been working with Plan Malaysia and KPKT. We will introduce Garis Panduan Perancang Baharu, which we will introduce carbon cap. So at any city, basically, for you to understand first, it will be just like London. London will have their, for next 5 years, any building, any new building in London, you cannot propose or cannot get any approval if you are exceeding 150 kWh per meter square per year. Habis, London. So next 5 years, they will reduce to 120, then reduce to 100, then reduce further. So until 2030, you will get 50 kWh per meter square per year. Now you just easily to offset, and then you get zero. We are following the same trend, just like Singapore, just like Hong Kong, just like Korea. I wish also that we can do just like Korea to have city simulation. Not just building simulation. Currently, when we do green building, we do per building. But in Korea, they do for the entire city. You know why? Because that's where that we want to see flood issue. We want to see the urban heat island. We want to see that issue. We want to see about the traffic issues. Okay. So if we were to use just each individual building, you may not be able to solve those problems. Okay. So I hope that answered. Thanks.
As well as Fatima's question on that, when you build new buildings, what happened to the forest and so on? So are those being incorporated with the approval process?
Yes. Okay. Is this, first we need to understand the principle. There is no cast in stone. In green, you need to do balance. You need to gauge between the two. Okay. So which one will give you a better reduction? The 3P, back to the 3P, So what you need to do is to make sure that, okay, again, a very simple example, EV car. You will reduce carbon or not? You reduce a bit. A bit. Okay, what happened to the economic? Have you seen the economic impact? You did not. You see, you only consider about the carbon. You did not see the economic impact. You did not see the people, impact to the people. Okay, if you see the other two, you will say EV is the best. If you look from the economic, from the carbon management side, because it will involve battery and later on disposal of the battery. It just reduced a bit only. Okay, but the impact to the people is more. You know why? Because there's no more pollutant. People are more healthy, right? So you need to combine and monetize the calculation and do the LCC, life cycle costing. When you do comparison in sustainability, do life cycle costing. Then you can see the entire. I hope that's clear. Yeah. Again, the science base is so important because we can refer to what happened in Oslo earlier. They have done earlier than us. So we can get data from them. We can follow Japan. Use that data because the earlier one that we have is only a forecast. What we have is okay, but again, the product you buy also coming from Japan. so they do have more data compared to you. Okay, so it's so much. It's science-based climate action is so important where you use a lot of use data will come into science. Data science will come into the picture. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ismail, for spending the time with us today. We have learned a lot from your presentation. I hope to go back to the video recording and catch up with those things that I missed earlier. So on behalf of the IIUM Centre for Islamic Economics and our faculty, the Kulliyyah of Economics and Management Sciences, we would like to thank you for your time. And we hope that we could have you again in the future, inshallah, for future, I mean, in future semesters. With that, we end our session.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes. Huh? What
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
question? Is there a
Sorry,
question?
can you look into the chat box because Dr. Aslam and I posted questions in there?
Okay, there's a question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Dr. Mahidi, can. Okay, thank you those who joining on Zoom. So inshallah, Mr. Ismail will respond to those questions in the chat box.
Okay. Quick one to respond about waste. Okay. Why is so difficult? Why waste to energy? First and foremost, you need to redor. That's the first thing. Redor that we have 3 tier of law. 3 tier. We have federal law, we have state law, we have a PBT law. Redor. Until and unless you become a new minister, you change. Okay. Okay. Now, why I say that? Number one is, you see, DBKL, they are a waste company appointed by federal. Appointed by federal. State have no say. Okay. PBT have no say. However, PBT have to pay. That's number one. Very interesting. Okay. And then the next thing is, when they hire the concessionaire, the contractor, they pay by ton of waste collected. So if city have an idea to reduce waste, you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible? No chance, because that guy will increase the waste instead of reducing the waste, because that is their income. So that's how it's, just to give you an idea why it's so difficult. Even if you have said, okay, we have been talking about introducing incinerator in Kuala Lumpur. No chance. Because who is going to approve? Federal, not the city. And then the next thing is, when we talk about, yes, it's in Sweden, you can use waste to generate energy. But in Sweden, they don't have kuah laksa, kuah kari in your waste. See? That's another biggest issue. For us, is the cost will be high because you need to dry first the waste. That's number one. And then number two, you need to do separation. Yeah. So the nature of our waste, the nature of our law, is not really supporting this idea. Okay. And our waste is not big. Yeah, there's some China company came to me and asked me to bring to the ministry. They can come with everything, the technology, funding, but they need 100,000 ton a day. What is Malaysia waste? It's only 27 ton a day. That's it. So we don't have waste, seriously. We don't have enough waste. And then the beauty part is, this. You have waste and you have to talk to every PBT. Kuala Selangor 200 ton, Kuala Langat 300 ton, and this PBT will have, I have my own contractor. So where are you going to get the volume? Because if you want to build incinerator, you need minimum what, 1,000, 2,000 ton? Because the incinerator costs you 15, 16 million. Or else the ROI become 30 years. Nobody will do. Okay, thank you. Yes. 3P? Yes. Because remember, when you do anything on sustainability, there will be an impact on economy. Don't forget. If you don't do, we have to shut down our airport. We have shut down our seaport. No business for us. And there's no income for the country. See from that angle. Not so much of, yes, we are only not even 1%. of total carbon, the whole world for Malaysia, none. Don't look from that side. Look and from the other side, why a tiny country like Singapore, they go all out. Their airport is the first. First carbon neutral airport in Asia is Singapore, Changi. First carbon neutral seaport is in Singapore. First green highway is in Singapore. Green highway. You know, they claim, if you Google now, green curb, even green curb, the pattern is from Singapore. There's two patterns from Singapore. One is a green curb, the other is smart power bar. The one that you can change the plug. You know, there's two parallel. The one that is patterned by Singaporean. So they see this, you know, from the other angle. Green sustainability will help their economy. That's why they go all out. Okay, I hope that answered.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much again, Mr. Ismail, for responding to those questions. Again, I would like to thank everyone who came and present here in the conference room, as well as those who are joining on Zoom, or 15 of them joining in Zoom. Alhamdulillah. So unfortunately, the lunch is served here. Those on Zoom, otherwise you can come out to the conference room and join us for lunch here. Right? Thank you very much, everybody. Inshallah. We'll meet again, inshallah, in the future. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh, green, eh? Oh, dekan ada. Sorry.